All indebted to our World War II vets. If you want to bear with me for a second, Glen.
Stand forward, this hearing,
You
so you
probably
can
know
hear
a lot of this information, but Glen was drafted in the United States Navy in 1943. After basic training in Idaho, the Navy deployed Glen for advanced training and was assigned the MLS as a storekeeper. After a year of duty assignment in Florida, Glen was billeted on the USS Cordoba, AS-32, whose mission was to provide critical supplies to our troops who were staging for combat. Did a little research on, I thought you might enjoy some of the facts about the ship that Glen was on. USS Cordoba was an Adrian-class vessel. It was commissioned on 26 January 1944. The commander of the ship was Lieutenant A.G. Wood. It had a crew of 10 officers and 75 enlisted men. Its armament consists of 3-inch, 50 caliber, dual-purpose mounted heavy guns and 6 single 20 millimeter AA gun mounts. The ship was assigned to the Asiatic Pacific Theater, which supplied troops that were staging, again, I mentioned more critical weapons for awards that the ship and all this crew award throughout the years was awards, citation campaigns consisted of the Asiatic Pacific Campaign Ribbon, the World War II Victory Medal, Navy Occupation Service Medal with Asian class, and the National Defense Medal. USS Cordoba was decommissioned on 20 August 1955 in Charleston, South Carolina, and unfortunately was scrapped in 1974. In conclusion, I'm sure that you probably knew this, but just kind of a little refresher. Every time the flag of our country is lowered, it has 12 folds. Each fold has a meaning. And I thought the third fold would be especially meaningful for Glen. As in the third fold of the flag of our country, the fold is made in honor and remembrance for our veterans who gave a portion of their life for the defense of our country and to attain peace throughout the world. Not to have done in vain, and shall we never forget. So, Glen, we certainly thank you for a job well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I'm honored. Glen, you have your certificate? So this is from
Used to be 3 poles around here, doesn't there?
Yeah, I have those not very nimble fingers here. It says we pay special tribute for you, our military servicemen to America, by advancing universal hope of freedom and liberty for all. So, if you don't mind, I'd like to pin this on you. On the collar down, I don't want on your sweater.
That's too deep.
Now, if you're on a ship and your commander gives you a pen, you have to salute him, but you don't have to salute you. So, thank you again. We appreciate the
Thank you
job
very much.
all of our World War II vets. And I bet your family would like to hear some of the stories. That,
Oh, we love hearing those stories.
Oh, I have an awful lot of stories that I could bore you with.
Oh, they're not
In a
boring.
way, what to me is always so funny. I was drafted out of Dayton, took Mary back to Toledo, and went to Idaho to boot camp, of all places. So I spent the boot camp there. We got 15 days leave at the end of boot camp. So I took my 15 days, took the train back to Toledo, took the train back to Idaho. At the end of the 15 days, got off the train, and there was one of my friends standing there, and he said, "You lucky son of a..." I think
Gun.
he said gun or something like that. He said, "You're going back to Toledo to storekeeping school." Right? I grabbed my stuff, got back on the train, came right back to Toledo.
Wow.
And then I spent the time here in Toledo. There's Mary right there.
Perfect.
And they said if you could play a musical instrument, you could join the band and get special liberty on Friday nights. So I got out my cornet and joined the band. Played in the band every Friday night. I got to go home. And by Monday, I'm back at the storekeeper school learning how to be a storekeeper.
Wow.
Then they sent us to Florida when I graduated. And I like to brag about it. I understood that if you were smart enough, had a good enough background, you could become an instructor here at the storekeeper school. So honestly, I studied very hard. Everywhere they went, I had a book in my hand, except when we were playing basketball.
And you were a newlywed?
Huh?
Were you newlywed then?
Oh, no, we weren't newlywed.
They had
David was
an
2 years old.
adventurous
So
David
we
was
went back to storekeeper school. They sent us down to Florida. And there was all kinds of jobs there. But because of the fact that I had studied real hard, I was the smartest guy in my
Class.
what was I in?
Class.
Anyhow, I was. And I was ready to be an instructor, and they said, "Oh no, we're not doing that anymore."
Aww.
So that's where they sent me to Florida. We goofed around a week or two, and I got package orders. On my orders, there's a big SA, which stood for Special Assignment. That can be interpreted a lot of ways. Either the very difficult secret
Secret agent
title,
essay.
or maybe a truck driver. I eventually found out it was the truck driver. I guess because I was old enough, I could drive a truck. Anyhow, I got orders to go to Glen, Florida. And the order said the U.S. Naval Rest Center. So I get on the bus, get off in Glen, Florida, and I go in the little bus station there, and I asked the lady the phone number of the U.S. Naval Rest Center. And she gave me a number. I called it. They said U.S. Naval Air Station. Well, I told them who I was. They said, we'll send a band to pick you up. So in a short time, comes this band that says U.S. Naval Air Station. And about that time, I very much a sailor, I said, say, Mac, is this the same thing as the U.S. Naval Rest Center? No, he says, what are you going to do with the rest center? Oh, I said, I'm going to be ship's company. Oh, he said, you lucky son of a gun. I think it was. Get in and I'll take you there. We go down into the land, right into the center of town, make a left turn, go about 2 blocks, and there's this huge hotel. Big wooden frame hotel with the old towers and everything. There's guys in dungarees shooting baskets there. Some are on the porch, and this porch was as long as that house. And they're playing a game with the ball and a tennis ball, and you're hitting it back and forth in this long box. And the other one's just sitting there relaxing in a chair. And I found out that this was the place where they sent any sailor who had been on a ship that had been sunk, who was given 10 days leave, rest and recreation at this hotel there in DeLand, Florida. So I guess I was there about 14 months.
Wow.
And it was really fine. It was fun. My commanding officer was, and for most everyone, you wouldn't know who it is. You're not old enough. But it was Jock Sutherland, famous football coach from Pittsburgh. He was my commanding officer. And one day, it was one night really, I'm sitting at my desk, and it's just a long reception area there. And the commander, he's walking back and forth. Suddenly he turned and he said, "Wise?" He said, "You're from Canton." And boy, yes, we are. Maybe something. And he went like this. He pulled those teeth out. He said, "Jock." Or no, he said,
Jim.
who was the
Jim Thorpe.
The Indian, Jim Thorpe. Jim Thorpe did this to me. He shoved them back in his mouth and started walking again. That's about the only thing he said to me. Until the time that I got my orders to ship out. And when I first got there, the president's storekeeper took me in and introduced me to him. And the commander said, "Oh, well, I don't know how we'll ever get along without whoever I was replacing. What a wonderful man he was." Oh, okay. So after 14 months, I have a replacement. We go in. I introduce him to the commander. Oh, he says, "I don't know how we'll ever get along." I know, why? So that's when they sent me out to California. But all this time, I kept getting just another rate. I was graduated from here at the Naval Station, third class. I was in second class in Florida, and made first class on the Purdue.
That's good.
So I was really proud of the police. And it was a
Sylvie, gentle.
one store, dry stores, and 2 frozen stores.
I read that on the history.
We would, one of my jobs was to check everything that went in. After it was in, they closed up the holes. I didn't have anything to do with play cards with my commanding officer.
Oh, geez. That was a great assignment.
So that was a really tough fight. So I don't, in a way, I deserve this point. I was there 32 months away from the family. That's not,
Yeah.
but
I think our women should be just as honored as the soldiers and sailors from back then.
yeah,
Our women holding down the home front while we all were gone.
it was
Can we
really,
get a picture of all 3 of you?
if everyone had to
And how
fight the
about
war
then
like I did,
with
there'd be
Glen
no
and-
problem.
Center.
How about